And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another series review. This time around, we're going to be talking about the Disney Plus Star Wars miniseries Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is basically the tale of what happened to Obi-Wan after Revenge of the Sith. And it takes place like roughly about 10 years from what I remember. And for the most part, you know, we get the returning, I think it's Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan. And like, that is fantastic to see him come back. And kind of then just see what he's been up to for the last 10 years and kind of see like the early days of the Empire and stuff like that, and see how the universe is basically handling certain things. On top of that, we get to see young Luke and Leia. So my early thoughts of Obi-Wan was, it was pretty like mellow, nothing too grand. It was like visually amazing, like entirely visually amazing. Like Star Wars series have always looked good. The sound is fantastic. The score is great. You can't, pop off to who was the composer for this one? Natalie Holt. Okay. No, they did a fantastic job. If they composed and was in charge of most of that, because the audio was beautiful, visuals were great. It was directed by Deborah Chow. Did a great job. The thing is, for me, what felt a little off was some of the plot, the story. So I'm not gonna go really into spoilers too much. It just, the plot is simple. As far as without spoiling anything, I would say the plot is Obi-Wan is summoned by, oh my god, what is the name of the dude? The guy who gave to Leia. Who was that? Why can't I remember their name? What? Why can't I remember their names? I literally had. The senator. Where is it? Whatever. She gets kidnapped, and it's up to Obi-Wan to basically go rescue her. And you get this kind of like you get this like Obi-Wan Leia storyline for like a good, I would say like 2/3 of the series is a Leia and Obi-Wan show, and there's some good parts, but there's some like parts. I think that's kind of what one of my low points of it. There's just moments where it's just like, it just doesn't feel like an Obi-Wan show. But the good thing is, when they do show Obi-Wan and how he's been struggling these past 10 years with the trauma of, his Padawan and all the death of the Jedi Order and things like that, and how he's kind of been handling that, that's when it really shines, when it's things like that. It's enjoyable when he's like interacting with Leia, but there's just like moments like sometimes it just didn't click, and that's the most I can really say. It just felt off sometimes, but sometimes it's just for plot's sake. You need something to keep the story moving. For sure, there's for this this series, I'm not gonna lie that you already know, if not by now, it is kind of a spoiler that Darth Vader is there, voiced by James Earl Jones, surprisingly, and the actual actor Hayden Christensen makes a comeback. And, you know, I was like, okay, let's see this, like, we'll see some, like, 10-year, like, grudge match, you know? You get some interesting lightsaber fights. I would say this is one of my favorite lightsaber matches of all time. There's multiple ones because you get, like, with the kidnapping of Leia, you get the Grand Inquisitors, or the Grand Inquisitors and his, like, the rest of that order. So you get some of these things, like, it makes you wonder what they were doing during the Empire stage, because you don't see them in the movies, but whatever, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But you get, like, this subplot with one of the characters known as the Third Sister. I felt that storyline was looking to be good. It kind of felt off sometimes. I didn't really like her in the beginning. I grew to like that subplot more and more, but it kind of, like, faltered towards the end, in my opinion. But, you know, you can only do so much with 6 episodes. Like, yeah, that I would say that. I think maybe, I don't know if another episode would have helped this series, because it for what it was, it was, for what the series was trying to do, a rescue mission, because, like, honestly, you can't really, like, no one's really gonna die because you already know the future. You know, Obi-Wan's not gonna die, Leia's not gonna die, or Luke's not gonna die, or Darth Vader's not gonna die. So there's, like, a lot of things you already know things aren't gonna happen because plot, because we know the future because of the film. So there's certain things like, okay, so what's gonna happen here? Besides that, I enjoyed the series. I just wish it was a little bit more. I just wish there was a little bit more to it. There's nothing more I can say besides that. I enjoyed it. It was a fun film. I'm just glad the cast was back and reprised their roles. That's one of the few things I always wonder if they'll do it, but they did for this one. I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2. It feels like it could lead into a season 2 to see a little bit more of the ventures of what Obi-Wan will do after the whole rescue mission stuff, and see how that goes. But yeah, I if this is where we'll end it for the character of Obi-Wan, 10 years past Order 66, I'm fine with that. If we get a little bit more cool, like adventure ones, kind of like what we get with the Mandalorians, things like that, I'm more for that. I think some more Mandalorian style storytelling, individual, like, modes instead of one long arc for Obi-Wan would be great, just to kind of see some tales. That would be great. Besides that, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm gonna give Obi-Wan a 7 out of 10. It was a good show. I just wanted a little bit more, mostly for a Star Wars film. Like I said, visuals were great, audio was great. It's just the plot was kind of, it was up and down. Sometimes it never really grabbed my attention at times. Some of the scenes were really cool. Some of the surprises were like, okay. But there was just never anything to really, like, hold suspense, in my opinion. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Good series. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Obi-Wan. Did you enjoy it? Were you hoping for more or less? Did you want, like, what did you want from it? If you leave a comment down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, post a comment on the posts. If you're on Twitter and Instagram, yeah, that's where you go. Yeah, follow me on those if you want to keep track of anything I am watching for future notes. So thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.